Welcome to Extreme Chaos. But what's going on, guys, in the works? And we are playing some Conquest Domination on Danya Fortress. Probably my favorite Conquest Domination map. It's a lot of fun. I like the way this one's designed. It's got a lot of level fighting. You know, you've got staircases. It's not so compact where you get just absolutely funneled in like I feel you do on like Scrap Metal or whatever that map's called. Even Operation 925 can get a little bit clustery, but Danya Fortress, there's some room to breathe. You know, there's some nice corridors to fight in, and it's really fun with the shotguns. And you either hate the shotguns or you absolutely love the shotguns on close quarters, but I am using the 870 with the slug rounds. And you may notice that I'm not using extended mags. And I actually talked about this in my SPAS 12 video about how when I'm using slugs, I prefer to have the laser sight. I don't know why that is. It's just my personal preference. I feel like with slugs, I need to be a little bit more accurate to begin with, and laser sight comes in pretty handy. But a little background information on this particular round. We are playing in the world's laggiest server. This was some of the laggiest gameplay I've ever experienced. I watched it back and you can't really tell a ton just from watching the footage, but it was pretty frustrating. And I guess what happens is on these really small Conquest Domination maps, when you've got, you know, more than 48 players, they tend to get really bogged down. And Battlelog in general has been a little bit glitchy lately because they have been working on it, so I don't know if that's one of the reasons. I can't imagine that Battlelog is tied to the hip for any of the servers, but I have been experiencing lag a lot on Battlefield 3 the past like 3 or 4 days, and this server was no exception, but it was an entertaining gameplay. I get upwards of 90 kills. It was a 27-minute long gameplay, so I spliced it up quite a bit, but nevertheless, I am still bringing it to you guys. So the 870. We've talked about the SPAS, we've talked about the 870 in the past. You know, you guys know that I'm a SPAS guy. When it comes down to it, I want my Raptor hunting shotgun, but the 870 is definitely no slouch. You can get work done with this thing. I think a lot of people actually prefer it over the SPAS. I mean, it does have a slower pump action. It's a little bit slower. The reload is just, you know, they're almost the same in reloads, but it's that hair of a second that comes between pumps that makes everyone want to favor the SPAS. And that's for a pretty good reason, because you can get caught between pumps and you're pretty much screwed at that point, especially if you're using slugs, because slugs is a high risk but really high reward type ammo. It's not like buckshot, it's not like flechette, where if you miss you do get a little bit of leeway, and I have no idea what just happened right there. Did you see that guy jut across my screen? That's just an example of just how laggy it was. So yeah, there's some extreme lag going on here, but I don't really think it ruined the game, because that's kind of what made it fun. And you know, Conquest Domination, you always look at this and it's like, oh, this is the weak link of the Battlefield 3 DLC. And I used to feel like that. You know, I've talked about my evolution, my change of the Conquest Domination game type in quite a few videos, how it used to just be, I absolutely despised the close quarters maps. When they first came out, I played them and I was like, man, this is not at all what I was expecting. This is actually the exact opposite of what I expected. But as I am matured as a Battlefield player, I started to enjoy them a little bit more. I started to have more fun on them because I realized something. I was taking these maps way too seriously. They don't advertise this as anything but chaos. I mean, especially on PC, anytime you go over 32 people on these servers, it's just absolutely chaos. And that's really what draws me to these maps. I mean, if it wasn't for the chaos factor, I probably wouldn't play it. You know, fast-paced action, you're always getting some sort of kill. It gets frustrating, though. I will admit that. A lot of people tend to get frustrated because they'll get like 5-6 kills and then they'll get killed. You know, kill a whole squad, then you run into a medic who revives the entire squad. So there is that thing that you have to watch out for. I know a lot of people get off-put by stuff like that. It's not the true, quote, Battlefield experience, but I think that's a dated term. If you enjoy running around in Conquest Domination, I feel like that should be okay. I don't think that the addition of this really hurt Battlefield 3 as a general rule. Would I like to see Battlefield 4 go completely close quarters? Absolutely not, but it will be nice to have some vanilla maps in Battlefield 4 that are a little bit smaller, that kind of cater to this, because let's face it, the most popular game mode in Battlefield 3 is TDM. TDM on no shower canals, everybody and their mama plays in that. Even I am guilty of that. If you want to rank up, if you want to, you know, test out a new weapon, test out some attachments, you go into canals, you know, 1,000 ticket TDM, and then you just have at it. That's the way people roll. And it really took me a while to realize I can do the same thing on all the Conquest Domination maps and have more fun, because there's more variety to them. They're made for more of these close range engagements. You're not just running around in a bunch of shipping containers killing each other. Because honestly, I get pretty tired of Canals TDM. It gets pretty boring pretty quick. I mean, you get the snipers that get up on the rooftops and you know, up on the crane, and that's just really frustrating because you just get killed as soon as you spawn in. You've got people firing at you. Whereas, you know, at least when you've got 64 player Conquest Domination, you know, the spawns are crappy. There's no way you can make the spawns work really well, but they're a lot better than the TDM spawns. A lot of times you don't get spawn killed. You've got your set areas because oftentimes you'll spawn with your teammates, so you do at least have a millisecond to react to someone spawn camping. But for the most part, you know, I've played a lot of the 64 player Conquest Domination maps, and I don't have a whole lot of problem getting spawn killed. I have a lot of problem running out after I've spawned and getting killed, but that's a little different. I think Scrap Metal is pretty bad about spawn deaths, but Danya Fortress I think works really well. So I've been enjoying these maps lately. I don't know what it is. It's like they grew on me with age as I get more into Battlefield 3, and that was a pretty lucky knife right there. Look at the lunge on that. Look at how I went through the wall, and that'll kind of give you an idea of how bad this was lagging. But you know, I've learned to embrace the chaos. If you want to have fun with Battlefield 3 still, you've got to embrace the chaos. You've got to let yourself have fun. You've got to let loose of your old stereotypes. If you don't enjoy maps like this, by all means, I mean, don't play them. I don't expect people to all enjoy the same types of maps, but don't let the Battlefield bias of these being a quote Call of Duty-esque map keep you from enjoying them. Because if you play a lot of Canals TDM, I really think that you can enjoy playing on a map like this. Now, is it a little bit more action-packed? Absolutely, but I think that's kind of what makes it fun. I mean, that's what Close Quarters is all about. And as a general rule, I still view this as one of the weaker DLCs, but if I really think about it, it's one of the few DLCs, with maybe Aftermath being the other one, that actually offered some new variety to the maps that we have in Battlefield 3. So let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Do you like Close Quarters now that it's been out for what, like almost a year now come this June? So I think Close Quarters has actually stood the test of time, but I want you guys to check out two videos you might have missed yesterday. I actually posted two. I was on top of my game for whatever reason. I did a 357 Magnum video, which is on the Rex, and I also did a balancing of the chopper video in Battlefield 4. So check those two out, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.